Welcome to Faith in 5, a weekly video devotional designed to discuss practical spiritual concepts in 5 minutes or less. I'm your host, Mark Vandella. I recently had a conversation with a friend who told me he was bored. He said, I'm just not feeling it. And he wasn't just talking about like life in general, he was talking about his faith. He said, I'm going through the motions. I go to church, I pray most of the time. I've done small groups here and there, but I'm bored. And he came to me, he was concerned, which is a fair thing to be concerned about. But I started asking some other questions about like, what does faith look like for you? Like, what's the picture of faith? And as he described his faith, it looks like a lot of ours. Unfortunately, sometimes we get to a spot where we spend most of our time consuming information and not doing anything about it. And so we're in our third week of our Hope series, and it's all based on hope theory. And hope theory is 4 interconnected parts. And oftentimes we like to pull those parts apart and expect it to all work well together. So last week we talked about our thoughts. Hope theory says that our thoughts control our actions. The problem is most of our faith is thoughts. It's all thoughts. We spend most of our time when it comes to faith, at least as we mature in our faith, it starts to look like a lot less action and a whole lot more thought. We consume sermons, we read devotionals, we read the Bible, we pray. We do a whole lot of like internal introspective, which is all very good. But that by itself, according to hope theory, actually starts to do the opposite of hope. It sends us down a spiral towards we've got all these thoughts, all these things that we think about, and we never take action on. The two have to be connected to each other. And so today we're talking specifically about how do we take action on our beliefs? How do we engage? How do we do something with all this awesome stuff we've consumed? And so if you're anything like my friend, and I think it's fair to admit we've all been in this spot of just kind of like, right? The key, the answer to doing something about this is doing something about it. See, the Bible actually talks about this in a number of ways, and oftentimes we use the word works and faith together, and there's a really unique spot in James 2:18. It says, someone will say, you have faith and I have deeds. Again, trying to break the two apart. Like, well, okay, so I'm going to just continue to go to church, listen, learn, consume, think, all those things. You go do, and we'll be good. But both of those things disconnected from each other leads us down a path that takes us away from fulfillment, away from meaning. James 2:18 goes on to say, show me your faith without deeds, but I will show you my faith by my deeds. So it's not that we get this all mixed up sometimes because we think about like our faith being like, I have to earn it. I have to go act in order to earn it. And that's backwards. The steps in hope theory are big picture, like seeing a bigger picture connected to something very meaningful, then thoughts, then actions. They're still connected, but we don't go act so that we can earn faith or things of that nature. But our actions are driven by our thoughts. And if we stop at step 2, it starts to lead us down a road of this doesn't add up. Dale Carnegie actually adds in, kind of in the leadership space, he says, inaction breeds doubt and fear. Action breeds confidence and courage. If you want to conquer fear, you cannot do it by sitting at home and thinking about it. And so the challenge for us in our faith is, what are we going to do with all this awesome information, all this belief, all this faith that we have? How are we going to live that out? And so I would encourage us as we think through this week or we think through our coming month, what is one way we could take action on our faith? Even the simplest thing of making a meal for somebody and delivering it, getting beyond ourselves, serving somewhere, calling a friend, like put your thoughts, all of these awesome things that God has taught us, provided for us. How do we put them into action? And that's going to look different from each of us, for each of us, Sometimes it's getting out and going and doing something, engaging with nature. Maybe it's worship music. Whatever it is for you, do something rather than just continue to think and ruminate on faith. Because hope theory connects all those things together. And again, I'm connecting hope theory. It's not that that's the end all be all. The Bible also suggests this. We are wired to both think and act. As you live out your faith this week, I wish you the best as you take action and engage. Thanks for watching Faith in 5. If you like what you see, please like and share. If you're interested in making a donation to our ministry, please click the link below.